Shalom, shalom. This is Ivan, the Water Bear, with another Preparation for a Purpose television show. So, this show is about belief and balance. Now, everybody that knows me knows I'm a thinking man. Sometimes, I got a 7 in my chart. Sometimes too much. So it's a blessing and it can be a curse. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because if you ever heard the saying, it is done unto you as you believe. Now, have you ever heard the saying, all truths are but half truths? So, what exactly are you going to believe? Okay. Now let me clear it up a little bit to make it a little clearer what I'm saying. This coronavirus, it's everywhere. It's all, especially right now. Even though I truly believe that it's all for a greater good. Right now, let's be honest, it's kind of sucking. So my thing is, who would have believed? I know I didn't. Even like I said, 2 years before this, maybe even longer, I felt something was coming. And, when my family and everybody said I was crazy, I just left it alone. But, at that particular time, I didn't believe this could happen. And majority of people didn't believe something like this could happen. But it happened. So, it kind of led me to ask myself, if it's done unto you as you believe, and like I said, most people, I'm sure, never believed this could happen, but it happened. Okay, then let's take it one step further. So like I said, so many people on YouTube, spiritual, if you want to use the word spiritual, religious, whatever, what have you. I don't want to rhyme. And so many of them said they saw it coming. They said, go right back to my video. I saw this one coming. Just go back and it's even more to come. Certain things, and they say I predicted this. So many prediction videos. So that led me to, like I said, that led me to think, well, if it's them, depending on where they're getting their information, what realms or what have you, whatever, divine guidance, whatever, what have you, the followers that they have, and I'm just saying have you ever heard when you just put so much stock in what one other individual says, you're giving all your energy to them? So it led me to believe, well, even though most of us didn't believe this could happen, then did we give so much energy to someone else that gave energy to something else that they're not sure, I don't care what they say, they're not 100% sure, that they got this information from to push their agenda. That's all I'm saying. Now, is that true or not? That's not for me to say. That's for you. See, that's the point of this message. Like I said, belief and balance. So that's the belief part. That's the belief part. That's what I always say is at the end of the day, well, it was always kind of hard for me to trust people. And, I'm like, okay, I just got to keep trusting in myself and just keep studying myself. Well, I say it's important for you to do the same. Don't take what I say. No matter how much sense it might make or not make, depending on who the person is, just study for yourself, to show yourself, to prove to yourself step by step what makes sense. Because, once again, I don't want to jump, but I have friends that, I might talk to every once in a while, not many of them, but, that I talk to, and this is one guy, even though, like I said, from what I study, he's right on key, but so many people can't get with this guy. Older gentleman, won't mention his name, and he's like, yeah, you throw water, and then the ripples out, and, and then he's just going on and on, and it's just like, even though the information might be true, if you don't go step by step, like I said, on belief, it's so hard for somebody who never even a tidbit heard what you're talking about to get with that. So they're like, okay, it's like telling a 2-year-old, yeah, so what happens is once you graduate college, then you move on, you're gonna start your career, and you telling them about the world, and it's like, dude, they too. You might wanna kind of, you see, so, and honestly, I'm a little guilty of that sometimes myself, and I'm learning, like I said, I'm learning and evolving every day myself. So that's another thing about belief. And why I say study to show yourself, to prove it to yourself, because for one, don't just buy in what somebody else saying because it makes sense or because the amount of clout they might have, because that's giving your power away and your energy. And then for two, it's like, okay, let's see if this makes sense to me. Let me grab my books. Let me check this out. Let me check this out about myself. Let me check this out about my sales, how my sales correlate, and things like that. Let me check okay, I listened to this cover. Let me go back. Let me check this out. Let me get in a quiet place and just by myself and just pray or whatever you want to call it, and just see what's going on. Now we have balance. That's the belief part. Now I said, let's get to the balance part. I had an auntie, God rest her soul. And I think she passed away about 6, 7, I guess that's irrelevant right now. But I told her, she was a vegan, and I always tell you guys a lot about the food and nutrition. And I would always tell her, I said, you can't get too much of a good thing. Like they say, you get too much of anything. And she would, vegan is the best. I know I mentioned that so much. But unless I feel led to do other, see, that's why I said myself. And you have to do yourself. If you just feel something, trust that intuition. Sometimes I just feel led to just cleanse, go straight vegan. But for the most part, I always just was like, okay, I'm eating my body type and my blood type. So electric this, and my meat for my body type. And I always just said balance. Always said balance was the key to life. So when a lot of people might say, well, you're killing the animals, like I always say, I feel we part of all, I'm not gonna get on that. But let's just even say what's going on out here. Let's say that it's an agenda to kill certain vegans. They think they're so healthy. Like, okay, so we got to get them hypothetically. Hey, we're going to get them out. Let's say, on the other hand, they say, hey, these people killing these animals, this and that. They're messing up Mother Nature. We got to get them out. But when you have balance, it's just something about balance. I always just felt, like I said, and it's up to you, but I'm just saying what I feel led at this point to share. I always felt balance was the best in every aspect. And if we are micros of a macro, then I truly feel every other area of life, you got to balance you got to balance with your money. You got to balance, balance breakfast. Everything's just balance. Balance your time. Balance your schedule. And then you notice when you form those good habits, and which is always with balance, things good just start to happen. I said God's good all the time. So it's like, for me, I said, that's really what I've been doing, especially until this whole little thing is kind of quiet down. Just balance. All right. Now, I don't want to get to rambling, so nothing else is really coming to me right now. Stay safe out there. Love.